Yeah, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Tahiti. Welcome back to Tahiti is what we're saying. I hope everyone out there is doing fine. Just gave chat a moment to populate itself, hopefully, which is what we're looking for. And yeah, hopefully someone will come and say hello in a second. I'm sure. It's a busy old night out there in YouTube land. It looks like, which is fun. Fun indeed. Right, let me get that in front of me so I can see what's occurring, and we'll get underway. I have been doing the transfers. We've not had as busy a. I'm very close to the camera. Hang on, that should be fine. Yeah, we've had a very busy summer, I guess, window, summer slash autumn window in Tahiti. Um, where I assigned just the 17 players. Nothing too dramatic. We'll sort of meet them all as we go. But in terms of the best of them, let's just say the best of them, because that's going to be the key thing. We have brought in this guy, Eduardo Luis. He is a midfielder, winger, attacking midfielder, striker, Brazilian, because I felt like I didn't have nearly enough Brazilians. He joins us from Princesa, and he was producing America de Pedrinhas. He's just been playing at really small Brazilian clubs, but actually looks fairly respectable for this level, as I suppose you expect from a Brazilian. We've also brought in Mario Jose, another Brazilian. He comes in from Nova Venezia, so he has had some time to learn. 21 years old, and again, reasonably good all round. We're starting to get into the good Brazilian players now. Jean Carlos Calvo, another Brazilian, comes in. He joins us from Atlético de Caceres. Or Caceres? I don't. Portuguese is not my thing, but he can play in the midfield, defensive midfield, and centre half, which is lovely to be able to see. Oh, we have Marcos Jose, who will play as a striker for us. In theory, he is a deep lying forward, so I have to slightly rethink how we striker, but he can do those jobs reasonably well. He just can't run, so he's not going to be the guy you knock a ball onto. We've also brought in, was Juan Pablo Camacho here last year? I have a feeling he was. Yeah, he was. Caracas was Sheikh Karamoko. Sheikh Karamoko is an Ivorian from Santa Cyril Domarao. He's played a lot of football in Ivory Coast and looks actually pretty good for this level. So he'll be a boon to us. And then we have another left winger here, Anderson, another Brazilian. He's quick-ish and decent mentals, and we'll hope the rest will follow on from that. We also have another potential number one goalkeeper, a new potential number one goalkeeper in Ahmed Nazar. He won't be playing today, but he is an Egyptian. He's supposed to be our first choice, but he's not quite as good as the other guy. So we'll go with that, but for now we are ready to go with our first game of the stream. I've got Marcos Jose playing as the target man at the moment. If he needs to go deep, we'll move him deep. But our lineup right in front of you, good stuff, looking strong. Very pleased with our 5 new signings going into the starting lineup. We also have a few other new signings here. Andrew Potter, being an English right back who can play on the right wing, he comes in from Nottingham Forest. We have got this guy Scott Duncan from New Zealand, centre half, who joins us from Brighton, who again looks like he's alright. And that's pretty much it for the new signings we're watching today. If we see new signings as we go, we will talk through them. That sounds like a plan, but for now we're going to get underway with the Tahitian Super Cup, essentially, and see if we can turn that into something magical that we can get a good victory in, which hopefully will be just fine for us. That's what we're saying, that's what we're hoping, dreaming about anyway. And yeah, we will get this one ready to go, address the team, no pressure, all that good stuff that we tell people when we want them to believe there's no pressure. We even got to do a press conference, which is nice. So press conference done, everything looking strong, and hopefully we can go from that into something reasonably special, is what I would be saying. So, you know, good times all around. Just having a quick check to see who is out there in the world, just to get a vague sense of what's occurring, because that's always very, very useful for us. But anyway, let's get this one underway, into the dugout, all that stuff, out of sight, you know how it goes. We will get there. Switch checking messages on my phone because, well, it's a little quiet out there today, to be honest. Not quite sure what to do when it's this quiet. I could turn the bots on, I suppose, but if I turn the bots on, does that just annoy me? Probably a little bit, but that's okay. Let me do that. In fact, let me pause the game before I do that. People are wondering about the bots. You should actually be in stream, shouldn't you? Because then you would know about the bots that keep me company before other friends appear. Is what's happening. Let's 2 seconds. Let me have a look. See what we can do here, just to get some help in the chat to set things alive, shall we? Right. Good times. That's looking survivable, and yeah, hopefully you can all hear me out in chat. Looks good, and yeah, we'll all be good. We'll all be good and happy and free and all that good stuff to get these things just about underway, is what we're saying. So, hope everyone is good. Hope everyone feels strong and happy and free. And yes, everything does. It does feel nice to manage a team where the biggest challenge is avoiding the resort buffet is what I'm being asked. Interesting times. Anyway, there we go. Apparently it must be hard to scout talent when half the squad is probably hanging out at the beach bar. That's fun. Anderson's got a penalty dead early in the final, and you'd like to think that that is goal number 1, and we are living the dream. We are sold, and hopefully we are going to take another trophy, and I'll have to update the trophy counter in our YouTube statistics, because we could be heading for trophy number 2. That could be a thing, and hopefully it will be good. We'll get something going. I'm sure we'll get something going. So my brain is like half dead, purely because I have been working on book proofing all weekend, and it's been a little bit of a nightmare. I say a little bit of a nightmare. It has been, what's the best way to put it? Stressful. Typesetting. Stressful. Never do it. I mean, I say never do it. I'll probably do it again. I'm probably mad enough to write a second book. Actually, I'm halfway through writing a second book. I'm probably mad enough to release a second book. So, either way, we'll get something going. Elodie, hi, welcome. I turned on the AI just to give me something to talk to, react to, you know, that kind of good stuff. But I hope you're well. You are the first to come in today, which is nice. I'm glad to see you're out there. So, the chat, the AI is annoying me. We're going to get rid of the AI for a second. Anyway, I hope you're well. Welcome to chat. We are halfway through the Coupe de Tahiti, which would be our second trophy here in the South Pacific. And very, very possibly, I think the second time we've won the same trophy, but we are purely by accident in the Champions League this season as well. So we do have to worry about the Oceania Champions League, as well as a little bit of Tahitian fun. So it's very possible we could be going as far away as New Zealand and Fiji at some point. I say it's possible. We will almost certainly be going as far away as New Zealand and Fiji, because that's pretty much how Champions Leagues work. You know, you go to other places. We've got new signings everywhere, which is great. And I would say we're feeling pretty strong as these things go about perhaps winning a title. Last season we were predicted to finish 7th. This season we're predicted to finish 3rd last time I checked. And considering the last time we were predicted to finish 7th and we accidentally got 2nd, presumably this year we're predicted to finish 3rd. We might accidentally get 1st, and then I think we'll be good to either move on or at least start to think about what the next steps are. Oh, I clicked on that to make a sub, and it told me I had to make a sub. That's spooky. Let's send in Mr. Lynham, and we'll send in Mr. Potter, because Guglino's not really up for this one, if we're completely honest. I guess we're going to have to send on Roland, so that means Lynham's moving to left back. And our two new strikers aren't looking like they're much cop, to be honest. So let's do that, see if that works, and go from there, maybe? It should be good. Well, we'll see. We know at least one of those guys, Caracas, has got a goal in him. And Keller, frankly, these two were our strike partnership last season. So having them back up top together is probably a really good sign, to be honest. It's probably a winner, would be the suggestion, but alas, Monday Night Football and all that, it's what we do, and we've got to hold on, secure this title while we can, because otherwise we're going to be looking a bit stupid, to be honest. But I'm used to looking a bit stupid, so there we go. Right, should we go a touch more positive? Just because we do have more players on the pitch than they do. I know, I've just done the math and I worked out we've got more players on the pitch than they have. So therefore, we should be able to use that advantage, use the extra legs in the squad to be able to get ourselves a second goal, win this trophy, and then crack on with our season. It's arranging friendlies in this league is a problem, so the players aren't actually match fit yet, which is a real issue. But I don't know, we'll figure it out. As Mario Jose puts a ball forward and Makan Hanakoko gets hold of it. It looks like we are going at the very least extra time. Perhaps Penn's not sure what comes next. I'll be completely honest. I've forgotten. It's been a year since we played in this tournament. And I'd be glad if it was a extra time, to be honest. Because that was close. That was very close to giving away a pen. Because I think we need to get some fresh legs on. And I'm not going to say you're doing well, but I'm going to say I don't like what I just saw. We'll tell the guys who are playing well they're playing well. because that helps. And then we'll grab all these guys who aren't playing well or haven't played well, give them the old pointy and just be like, listen lads, you could do with being a touch much better. A touch much better. I think Lynham might have to come back out purely because he's been so terrible, but I've got no other left back, so that's an issue. I'm not quite sure if I can shuffle things to move someone else to left back either. So I guess I'm going to leave Lynham. Lynham might actually be one of our better penalty takers as well, to be honest. It might be that I use this bonus sub, as it were, to put on the best penalty taker I have on the bench for the worst. And go from that, because we shouldn't be being held at 1-1. They should be exhausted. And we're not really making the best out of this, which is not terribly encouraging. We'll hold on a little bit longer, because I don't... if we're going to get a winner in extra time, it'll be from the players who are on the pitch, I would imagine. Well, if Mario Jose can't take a pen, then maybe he comes off. In fact, let's have a quick look. Before we get hit on the break, Mario Jose, what do you like from the penalty spot? 3 is probably quite good for our team. Lynham is a 3-2. Anyone here not... In fact, let's just check what's on the bench, because it's just centre-backs who can play in midfield. So, you've got a 4... Okay, it's not going to be Scott Duncan coming on regardless. You've got a 2. You've got a 3. You've got a 3. You've got a 3. But he is our best defender today. He can sort of do a thing. He can't. He can sort of do a thing. They're all players that can sort of do a thing. Well, logically you'd take Roland off, but he is also a striker, so I guess we take off Karamoko, we send in Calvo, and just hope those fresh legs are enough to A, defend our way through the rest of this game, but also just having that extra penalty taker on could be useful, assuming we need it. AS Venus, of course, are the champions, so it is a thing to consider. I am going to encourage my players. I'm going to go very attacking, because there's no point conserving energy at this point. We just need a goal. And in fact, we've got 5 minutes to go. It's very tempting to just throw bodies up top and see how that works out for us. It's very tempting. It's just a maths. It's just the maths. Do I do it? Yeah, we'll do it in a second. We'll do it in a second. We'll send up as many strikers as ye gods allow and just hoof it. Come on, make the change. There we go, right. So I'm going to go with, I know Reddy Golo can't actually play centre half. I'm aware that he can't play centre half, and I'm aware that I'm going to leave the out of possession as it is. So Potter, I don't know why I did that. Potter can go into attacking mids. Yep. Roland's going up top. Lynham is going to play there. I'm aware they've both got to move really, really far to get back into position, but in theory, it shouldn't matter for the remainder of this game. In theory, right, I want someone to be doing target forward there. It's going to be Keller. Roland's going to do channel forward there. Lynham, I think, is going to go second striker, and then Potter is going to go attacking midfielder. It's an enormous risk. It's such a big risk, but I will also go for a no-nonsense centre-back role on Ready Golo when it lets me. You gonna let me? Is that okay? Thank you. No-nonsense centre-back. That should be fine. And then if I have one of these midfielders drop deep, just while everyone else gets in position, that should cover it. We should be fine. And then we'll see. Come on, goal. Just a goal. One goal. We're just going to hoof it towards 5 guys and hope for the best. That really is the only play here, is hoof it at 5 guys and hope for the best. Potter, over the top, looking for Caracas. He can create havoc. If he puts it in the box, he doesn't quite get it there, but Dupere, off the top, sorry. And, well, it looks like this one is not going to go our way unless a miracle happens in the next 15 seconds. It looks like we're going to go to penalties. And that timer is ticking down a little bit faster than I would like it to. And that is going to be penalties. And I think we are going to have... We're going to make Caracas take the first one. That's for sure, for sure. Then Potter, Keller... Jose, Redigolo, Calvo, Camacho, then Dupere, then Lynham. Then the keeper. I don't know why the keeper is the person chosen to take penalty number 10. Surely I don't have to have my keeper take one of the 10 penalties. Pretty sure that's not a rule. Pretty certain that is not a rule of football. And when I say pretty certain, I mean entirely certain that is not a rule of football. But there we go. We've got our first penalty over the line. That's good. That's a good start. We've started with a goal-scoring adventure, which we love to see. Now we just have to keep it going. Keep it going. Win this shootout. That's what we're saying. Let's win the shootout and let's be doing something more enjoyable. A win would be ideal, really. A win would be the dream for us. Potter next. Has a pot, puts it away. It's 2-2. And all we have to do now is keep scoring goals and hope that Tavayari can be a hero tonight. Cecilia steps up and Tavayari makes the save. So, AS Taravao again with a chance to win a penalty shootout. Keller stepping up. A big goal scorer for us last season. Can he be a big goal scorer for us now? Yes, he can. And that is 3-2. Let's get it to 3, or to keep it 3-2. Just to seal it off, really. Just to seal it off. If Hanere can miss today, Tavayari saves. Tavayari doesn't save. Tavayari goes the right direction. Doesn't bother stretching his arms out, which is very frustrating. Okay, we have to score here. We have to score here. Deep. If you're joining us right now, you're missing some deep times. Mario Jose with a very cheeky little chip penalty. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but we'll take it. And one save here gives us a trophy. Tahau is stepping up. Can Tavayari make this save? No. No, he can't. So it all comes down to us having to score a goal. And we know that us having to score a goal has at times been a little bit problematic. And it's Redigolo, the right back, who is going to take this one. And he puts it away. And Redigolo gives us our first trophy lift of the season. We're at 2 trophies now for the series, for the save. We are going to get a lovely cinematic for lifting the trophy. I remember this trophy. This is the enormously oversized trophy that we have won last year, the Coupe de Tahiti, and we are probably the winningest team on the island, to be honest. But being the winningest team on the island, hey Simon, welcome AI Simon. Yeah, we've not had many people pop in, so welcome Simon. It's lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope things are good. We're just having a lovely trophy lift, having gone through another penalty shootout for the Coupe de Tahiti, which is just the Super Cup. It's nothing dramatic, but it's a trophy that we've now won twice, actually, which is beautiful. Beautiful stuff. You've not missed anything in terms of the story. I only had the transfers earlier today. I've been working on the book all weekend, so back from looking at the Aurora Borealis in Devon. What? You can see that in Devon. That means I should be able to see it from here. But no. Nope, nothing here. Even the Aurora Borealis doesn't want to come to Swindon, which fair. Can't blame it. Alright, we're not going to get Leo. That's a shame, but it's like, Liam, welcome. Everyone's pouring in now. Beautiful stuff. How are you doing, Liam? I'm good. I am glad to finally be back at doing Tahiti rather than typesetting a book, because I spent 20 hours of my weekend faffing around with margins and gutters and shit. And I now know more about book formatting than I've ever known about book formatting or ever needed to know. Watching volleyball on Saturday, Swindon, yeah, well, it's not the one that matters, so that's fine. That's all we have to keep in our head, is it's not the one that matters. The one that matters is the one where we smash them and we go and we play Manchester City at the Etihad in front of all 12 of their fans, and we put Pep in his box. Put picture. Oh, Simon, let me dig that out. Let me dig that out. I actually don't have the new update yet, Liam, because it hasn't installed for me. I've tried to force it to install. It bloody refuses. Ooh. Ooh. I've just seen Elodie has joined. I should probably check the Discord now. Elodie has joined the Discord as well. Not just because, but you know, that is stunning. That is stunning. That is a bright red sky. That's incredible. Things only like that in Swindon when things are on fire. I saw heat maps confirmed. That was nice. Very happy. Yeah, for some reason I've tried to force updates like 3 times today, and it did an update, but the update was only 6.8 meg. It wasn't like the update, so we're currently without it, but I don't know why it's not rolled out. Camera lifting the colours is what the pointless. That's good. But yeah, beautiful photos. You've done very well. Based on my outdated knowledge of photographic composition, they are beautiful shots of a beautiful natural sight. So I'd say you've done well. Personally, we've got ages until this next bastard league game. It's like a month between the Super Cup and the league. So I think I'm actually going to try and force it to play some friendlies, because it wasn't really letting me play anyone. Even now, it's not really letting me play anyone in pre-season. So we're just going to play our reserves 90 odd times. Just kind of see if that builds some element of fitness, I guess. Right, well, let's do it there. So we'll play whoever they are. And I guess we'll chuck a game in on the third. I think we share our ground with someone. But don't quote me on it. I think we share. Why would our affiliate club must be local. I don't know why they think it was too far to travel. Either way, we're just, like I said, just trying to get as many of our players match fit as we possibly can before the season opener on October 12th. Because it sort of just feels like we should be doing that. I guess we'll invite the New York Red Bulls Academy over to... of course, there's no way to click on a stadium anymore to see if anyone shares it. Can you do it from in the club site? Is that a thing it allows? Answers on a postcard. I think it's supposed to. I think that's why that's in a box. But as always with FM26, it's supposed to isn't a thing. I assume someone else shares this ground, but I have no way of knowing. No way of knowing. Is there another team in Taravao? No. I genuinely have no idea. Genuinely have no idea what's occurring there. Right. Let's do the zoom through. I have to... Oh, good shout. Good shout, Simon. Do we have rivals? Do I know where rivals are? Club info. We don't have any rivals. We're apparently in the process of a board takeover, which honestly is news I didn't see. It's saying my youth intake is now. It is? Where? Where? Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. That's very helpful. That's very helpful indeed. That's good news, good knowledge, good stuff. Which is odd because, like I said, I haven't had the update. So maybe it's just been there the whole time and I've just had no idea. Weird. Weird. Right, we'll send this fella on to Whitham Town. Witham Town? Whitham? Witham? There's a place near Oxford called Whitham, spelled like that. But I don't know if that's Whitham in Essex, or is it Witham in Essex? Oh, it's Essex, who cares? Confirm the transfer though, let's do that. Let's do that. And then we will have a little zoom through, because honestly, there's not a lot to be gained because I've got no more money to spend. For you guys who've just joined, this season preview says we'll finish 5th. It did say 3rd at one stage. We were supposed to finish 7th last year, and because of a lovely bug, we may well be in the Champions League, but I don't know when that's happening. So That's fun. Competition scheduled on January 2nd and will start on the 23rd. Okay, that's good information. Season 2030. Let's just try and get a sense for how this works. So always start with a quarterfinal? No. So preliminary round, which looks like we wouldn't play in, followed by a second leg. Is that like a group? Looks like there's a group preliminary round. That's a fun setup. Followed by some groups, which presumably carries on for a while. I hate these buttons move. It's really irritating. It's really unhelpful. Trying to get a sense of how this works. Right, then quarterfinals by April, which last year was made by just the one Tahitian side. Evening Warcraft. It's a lovely day for fishing. How are you? Is there a bad day for fishing? I have no idea. I don't fish. But we'll assume there is in fact a bad day for fishing. I say I don't fish. I do occasionally play Russian fishing, but it's very relaxing. I think we just go in the group stage, which is fine. That's fine. At least we know roughly what's happening. But yeah, we should be in the Champions League. Thoughts on the AFCON final? Didn't watch it. Completely forgot. I was... Okay, because Amazon's really stupid. To format a book for Amazon, you have to put it in a certain size dimensions for a page. But Amazon, being American, works in freedom units. I don't understand freedom units. And then I put Word into freedom units, and the freedom units I was giving it that Amazon told me to give it didn't correlate with whatever Word was spitting up. I basically spent hours fighting Word yesterday. It was awful. So I missed the game. So I don't really have any thoughts on the AFCON final. I was thinking of sitting and watching it earlier. Completely forgot because I was recording Wednesday's episode of Supermarine. So no idea what happened. I think Morocco won, maybe, but that's about as far as I know. Absolutely shattered, but was well worth it. Fair enough. Fair enough. What are you out to? Just, I'm assuming, not fishing. That'd be weird. Apparently, it's an interesting watch from the 90th minute, which is an odd time to start watching the game, but I see the vision. I get it. I'm here for that. Right, apologies to those who just came in. I just need to grab some liquid and I'll be back, so bear with. And then we'll get the league season underway and we'll hopefully have some fit players by then, because that'd be nice. Right. I also realised as I stood up that I completely forgot to eat before I streamed, so I've grabbed my emergency bar of chocolate out of the fridge. So that's good times. That's gone well. Hopefully we'll get there. But yeah, I hope everyone's well. As I said, I've been fighting with the book. I'm currently fighting with a chocolate wrapper, which is even worse. Shouldn't be beaten by a chocolate wrapper. And still fighting with the bloody chocolate wrapper. I'm such an idiot. It should be easy, right? Book is still coming out this week. Book should be out by the end of this week. In fact, I'm expecting it. Like it's literally sat in the Amazon system right now, waiting to be approved by a human, presumably a human. It's probably an AI these days, for release. So it should be out in the next 72 hours, is what I'm told. I've got a tab open with it where I can just refresh it to see when it's live, but still in review. Well, thank you, Liam, appreciate it. I'll if you want me to, I'll even come meet you and sign it somewhere. I get some of it. It's not a lot, but I get some of it. I get like 60% of the profit, so 60% of whatever it makes after printing costs, but I have deliberately kept the margins quite tight so it's not obscenely expensive. Well, I've seen what some people who have published books on Amazon charge, and I now understand why they charge so much, because they're trying to make money. So the hardback is $21.99, the paperback is $12.99, and the Kindle is $3.99. Obviously, there's no printing cost with Kindle, but yeah, I did some maths and worked out roughly what a book of this type costs. Like, so I have to think about like the marketing of the book because I have to do it myself, and I didn't want it to feel like a cheap kind of airport book that you buy because you're flying to Ibiza and you've got nothing with you or whatever. I wanted it to feel like literature, not like an airport book, essentially. And there's this whole psychology of like, if you make something too cheap, people just assume it's shit. It's weird. Like people will spend more because they assume price means quality, but I sort of feel bad. Like, you know, it is the first book I've published. Yeah, it almost certainly won't be the last, in that I'm halfway through writing the next one. I say halfway through. I'm actually about a fifth of the way through, but the next one will be very different to this one. This is very much this is a book for grown-ups. The next one is more of like a young adult teenage book. Purely because writing this book was quite emotionally draining. It was quite heavily involved. And so I thought either I can wait a while before I put the next one out, or I can write something completely different that's a bit lighter and a bit more fun. So whereas this book quite heavily touches on themes of like addiction and loss, the next book is like a fun little teenage detective book. It's basically Miss Marple meets Veronica Mars. It's about a teenage detective investigating the murder of an Instagram influencer. So very different, very different. Well, hopefully, I can't give any guarantees on what's going to come out because I'm still a fifth of the way through writing it. I do need to find like a day a week to not stream and definitely dedicate just to writing, but I don't know what day that'll be. Like I said, I keep saying I need to get into a proper schedule with streaming, but never quite seems to come to pass. But it'll be finished when it's finished. It'll be out when it's out. The trouble is now I've figured out how Kindle publishing works. I'm going to have to quiet the impatient little voice in my brain that goes, just stick the sodding book out. Ooh. Like, skips the whole make it edited and good and stuff bit. It looks like Liam has gone on a journey of his own to Dunbar or to Lochar Thistle, whoever they are. Interesting. It's interesting actually. Like Liam the First would not actually get in our book, in our team anymore. If I look at who would I say is our best attacking mid? Like Marcos Jose. They are... Actually, they're still reasonably close. They're still reasonably close in ability. That's unfair. They are still close. The mental side aren't great. Also, does anyone know why this number here, always this number on the mentals, the right one, shakes? It's the worst place to put it because I genuinely think I'm hallucinating when I look at mentals. It feels like I should be having a conversation with my therapist. Right. I have a reasonable number of reasonably fit footballers, which is good. I'm not convinced by these two strikers, but I'm hoping they'll come good once they get fully match fit. So we'll give them a go. Fair. Yeah, it's one of those things like you don't notice it until you notice it, and then you just can't unsee it. I have mentioned it on the forum, but I suspect it will never get fixed. But I guarantee that's the one thing I'm still complaining about in like 5 years' time. It'd be something like, why haven't they fixed this one really annoying fucking thing yet? The thing is, it might be really specific. It might be a resolution issue or something stupid. Anyway, we're here for the first game of the season. New signings galore. I packed a team full of Brazilians. So I think I need to change the UI for FM27. They don't have to. I'd like it if they did, but they don't have to. It's not awful. Now I'm used to it. It's fine. It's just a lot of people hate it. Like I saw the Twitter thread for the new update, and it looks overwhelmingly like everyone fucking hates it still. So their whole "oh, you'll get used to it" thing didn't happen. It didn't happen. So je ne sais pas. Just see if anyone responded to my tweet asking how the hell I fix it. And they didn't. Good. Love it. FM assist. Doing the Lord's work. It's harder to find stuff, but also there is still there's so much wasted dead space. I did, Liam. I've closed Steam down in Task Manager. I've closed the game down, the whole lot. Restarted my PC. Changed my update settings. The works. Didn't get it. Don't know why. That might be why. I'll have a look once I'm done streaming. I'll have a proper check. Right. For some reason, these two strikers are not capable of scoring goals. But it is possible that I do not have the players to play the 4-3-3 again. So I think the issue here is that, frankly, the new signings are neither tall nor quick. But I was, for some reason, really throttled in what I was allowed to sign, like in what was showing up as options. Like, I don't know if the league rep has dropped or what, but nobody wanted to come and sign for us last year. Like, it was literally a handful of Brazilians and a handful of like released youth players from England. And like, I checked all the way down the leagues and nothing of interest was coming. But even the players who did come in, the vast majority of them sucked. The vast majority of them wouldn't have got into like a 9th tier English team. And we're marginally better than that. So it doesn't make sense. Gaglino has come into this season in awful form. Doesn't make any sense. He's just not in good form at all. Not sure what that header was aiming to achieve. Can someone just finish? For one person to finish. We're not in this game in the slightest. Let's berate the players. Because I feel like we should be winning this, and we're not. In fact, let's get rid of... Right. Let's start on the right. You're coming off. For sure. In fact... Let's put Luis there. Well, of course he can't bloody play as a right winger, can he? That'd be too bastard easy. And in fact, the guy I've got there as a replacement can't do that job either. Alright. Okay. Alright. Let's do that. Let's work from there. So, Gaglino can go there. We'll use... Who is the next best striker there? Caracas? Okay, perfect. Now, Marcos Jose off for Calvo. Because that's not working. Anderson off for Lynham. Then why is that not making sense now? Put Duncan in there. And I guess actually we'll put Potter on for Eduardo Luis. That's our 5 weakest players. Let's send those guys out there and see if that works. Hopefully it will. I am aware this 4-3-3 wasn't really great at getting goals for us last year, but... And also, those players are not where I bloody want them. Again. Because I've bloody sorted out of possession. Right. Let's sort that out again. Right. You're going on right wing. Nobody switches places there, do they? No, right. Let's go with that. That should make more sense now. Everyone's where I want them to be. I just need them to score goals now. Anyone to score a goal. Ideally 2, but let's start with 1. Let's not get greedy. I'd love it if Caracas could score, but he won't. Would love it if Caracas could score, but he won't. Oh, it's a penalty. Maybe Caracas will score because he takes the penalties. Let's see. Come on, big man. Put this one away. Back on terms. Then we're laughing. Back on terms. Now we're laughing. Let's have a second goal. Jobs are good. Bob's your uncle. Everyone's happy. And we can have a jolly good time getting our second goal. That's the plan. And that's how that's going to shake out. Right. Penalty. Seen twice. Job done. Come on. Do it. Encourage. Go for a second goal. Let's do this. Fernandez to Mario Jose. Back to Fernandez. Back to Mario Jose. Finds Duncan. To Mario Jose, who shoots from range and puts it over the crossbar. And, well, it was a nice attempt. It hasn't done a lot for us, but it was a nice attempt. And I guess we'll address the team. Say we're proud of them salvaging something in the second half. And now I have some thinking to do because I actually don't know if this team is good enough anymore, despite the fact I've improved it. But I don't feel like we should be conceding goals in this game. But I guess it is what it is. Everyone has a bad game sometime, and today it was us. So hopefully next time it won't be us. We have the Coup de Bolognese next. I'm not going to bother resting the players because I'll just rotate if I need to. That's not a drama. I've got about 300 players in my squad, so if anything, I think we'll be fine. It should be a reasonably good season for us anyway, so no complaints from me, no dramas from me. All shall be jolly. All should be jolly, lovely, wonderful, tremendous. We give the old book another refresh to see if anything has appeared. Nope, still all in review. Bastards. Still all in review. But it's life, innit? It's life. Just realised I have to wake up tomorrow and edit Wednesday's video, which is fun. I recorded it earlier. It was a good time. Wednesday is the marine video that contains the first ever Swindon derby. So that should be a fun time for everyone. It was a fun time for me. I did not get confused at all. Totally didn't happen. Anyone who says it did is a liar. That's what we'll say. It's not honest, but it's what we'll say. I got confused. I got very confused. It was a very confusing time playing Supermarine against Town. It doesn't help that both teams have SWI as an abbreviation. That was unhelpful. I think we're going to drop Gaglino because, frankly, he's not been very good. Who is our next best right winger? Or do we just go to the 4-3-3 temporarily? Just for now. While I figure it out, because it does give us a lot more options. I need to try left back on the bench, but it's probably still Fernandez for now. Oh, Lynham's there. Lynham's there. We're all good. Don't panic. I've got a left back. We will be fine. I don't think I want Redigolo in the team because he's a little tired. We'll stick Dunn there. And we'll stick Kortelainen there. Not seen Kortelainen this season yet. And I assume he's still a pretty bloody good player. I would like another left winger on the bench, I think. And I guess that's going to be Anderson. Yeah, sure. Let's give that a go. Squad numbers to 2 players, Dunn and Ledesma, who don't really know much about Ledesma. Don't remember signing him. Sure I did. Pretty certain I did. Don't remember much about him at all. It's all been a little bit of a blur. Also, I do need to check our reputation after this game. Remind me after the game and check the reputation to see if we have gone up any, because we have got 2 trophies now. So we are officially Tahiti's most successful foreign manager ever. We're probably also one of very few foreign managers in Tahiti. Tahiti feels like the kind of place where someone saw the game either on TV or back in the olden days whilst visiting another country and taught it to locals. It doesn't feel like a place where someone from England or France travelled and coached all the teams like everywhere else. Kortelainen to Camacho. Let's go forward. Forward balling. How have you missed that? I forget that you were offside. That's irrelevant. How have you missed that? I am asking that as a question with my whole chest. How have you missed that shot? It's just unfathomable. Right. Kortelainen has picked up a knock within seconds, which is nice. That's very helpful. Well done. Playing your first game of the season. Chance to impress. Immediately injured. I'm sure it's not his fault. He didn't injure himself, but even so, be more careful. Also, Churchill has got an appearance out of this season, which is nice. Ricard now running at us. And it's come off all the woodwork. Off the crossbar, off the goalpost, off the everything. Guglino's going to try and counter. I'd like him to be better today, please, because he's been pretty pants all season. By which I mean he's been entirely pants all season. It is possible that the 4-4-2 is what's not working for us as well with the other formation, like the deep 4-4-2. It feels like it might need to be a more attacking 4-4-2 in possession. Maybe. Like push the wingers up, make it essentially a 4-2-4. It's not a Fanal problem. A Fanal problem is that we're trying to just get and goal. This system doesn't really lend itself to scoring goals though, which is a real problem for us. I do keep thinking maybe what it needs is for the big guy to play as a deep lying forward and then maybe put an attacking midfielder behind him to play off, but I'm not sure about that either. It's a really tough decision. But either way, it feels like we should be challenging this season with the improvements we've made, with the upgrades we've made. We should be challenging for a title this season, but performances so far this season do not suggest we will be enjoying a promotion season. Would be what I would say, which is a problem. Just a thought, but yeah, it doesn't feel like we've quite nailed this tactically yet. It felt good last year when I essentially signed players for their height. This year I didn't get the scouting budget to sign players for their height, so I had to actually try and scout like a grown-up and sign players who were good. And it's not really worked out. I mean, it has in terms of Mario Jose is a very good player, Eduardo Luis is a very good player, Calvo is a very good player, and so is Camacho. But I say Eduardo Luis is a very good player and he misses. They're on paper very good players, but I don't know if they fit the system we had going. I don't know what needs to be done to get a system going to make them work. It's going to be a real quandary. What I need to do is grab Dupere and Luis and go, I am not happy with your performance tonight. Actually, same with Mario Jose. I am not happy with your performance tonight either. You've been pretty bad. Right, everyone. You've got the ability to make a difference today. Go try that on. Why not? Starting to feel like maybe Eduardo Luis shouldn't be our starting striker. I just feel like maybe he doesn't offer enough as a striker. And maybe the trouble is that we've replaced both our strikers rather than one at a time. And it was just signed because they were both better than what we had on paper. But they're not better in practice. I mean, now we've got Churchill on the ball. He's cutting inside. He has a shot from range, puts it into the goalie's hands, and it's costing us a fortune. Again, forward to Charles, to Tauzin, back to Valet, who goes to Tauzin again, and we have got to cover, guys. We've got to cover. Kortelainen gets there, puts the ball forward to Calvo, to Dupere, to Mario Jose. Churchill. Come on, Churchill, do it. Do it, buddy. Get past the defender. Do it. Cross. There we go. It wasn't a shot that was worth taking, but it was man kick ball, which I guess is better than man do nothing. Marginally better than man do nothing. Guglielmo now with a corner into the box, headed away by Valle, and he has a 1-2 with Charles, clears it. Salaberry running at us. Camacho tracking. Ricard recording. No, recording. I can't do that. My brain hurts. That was a lot of. I don't know why that was in the back of my throat. Phrasing. Caracas. He can come off. He's been rubbish. Kortelainen's been really good, but he's knackered, bless him. So we have to replace both our centre halves and our right back. So I guess Mario Jose is going to right back, and we can put whoever can play in midfield. It might have to be that Caracas goes back into midfield, which is not what I wanted. It was ironically the role I signed him for, but not what I wanted right now. And then I've got essentially two left-sided players and a striker. Dupere could go in. Sorry, Lintz could go in. Luis could go in there. And Marcos Jose can go. Okay, good. Right. Let's do that. Let's get goals from there. The goals. They are a necessary evil to score them. Oh, we will. We will score them. Je suis déterminé. That's what we'll say. We are determined, and we will score another goal one day. One day. It is It's a lot quiet out there. A lot quiet out there. I'm not sure I am a fan, but it's a lot quiet out there. Encourage. Let's encourage the encouragement. We will get the goal. I believe in us. Fuck. Balls. Okay. Well, in theory, that was really, really good. And then in practice, it was utter shit. And I don't feel like I have tactically figured this team out yet. It could be that it's not a 4-4-2 team. It could be that it is a 4-4-2 team, but I've not got anyone in the right places yet. I don't know. Answers on a postcard, chat. Answers on a postcard. What are we doing for tacticals? I mean, ignore the fact I think Vargas is our best goalkeeper. He's not. Huh. 4 days till our next game too. Is it actually 4 days? 3. 3 days. 3 days till our next game. That's how that works. Let's make that change. I'm really worried about Marcos Jose having no pace bothers me. Really bothers me. But then Rafael Keller doesn't have any pace, and he was still contributing goals last season. Maybe he just needs to score a goal. Maybe he just needs to get a goal under him. And then he becomes one of those players who's just really dangerous. Like, we've all seen that happen before. I don't like how much it sounds like I'm trying to convince myself. And it is possible, I'm just trying to convince myself. Do I want Tahiti on the way? I guess I do. He's not ideal, but I guess I do. Just as like the backup. What troubles me is that Caracas should be playing. There's just no obvious place for him to be playing. And I think would this work better as a strikerless? I can't get my brain to accept that. It's very odd. It's very odd. I don't know. Don't know. I am largely out of ideas. I do see a rogue old friend in chat. A rogue old friend. Let's figure something out. Right, let's just go to the next game. We'll go to the next game, and then we can have an idea, a better idea of whether this is working or not. Because it would be nice if we could get the first win of the season, because this is feeling a bit like the season before last, where we could do everything except score goals. So we just kept racking up draw after draw after draw after draw after draw. What did I break? Great question. For some reason we can't score goals again. And I can't work out why. There's no good reason why we shouldn't be scoring goals. Like, literally no good reason. The only thing I can think of is that the two new strikers we brought in that were supposed to be upgrades on last year's two strikers are somehow not as good as the strikers they were brought in as replacements for. But that's illogical, because if we do the like-for-like comparison, Marcus Jose was supposed to be the guy that replaces Keller, right? If I can find Keller. Why isn't searched by surname? I don't think of footballers by first name. Rafael Keller. Like, if we just look at these two side by side, clearly, Marcus Jose is the better player. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. I think that's reasonably accurate. Although I've just spotted it. I haven't tried to turn the strikers off and on. I've worked it out, I think. I think what it is that Rafael Keller, despite the fact that if I put him in that gap there, it will drop right down, has so much better jumping reach that he's much more effective as a target. And then if I look at Eduardo Luis and I compare him with... Where's he gone? Where has that bastard gone? Why can't I see him? That's really annoying. Why are you not showing up? Let's go the other way. Caracas, can we compare him to Luis, please? Why are they not showing up? Marcos Horth? No, it wasn't. I'm sure it was Luis. I was trying to compare Caracas and Luis, and I can't make it compare the two. Luis to Caracas. Come on. There we go. No, that's Cardenas, not Caracas. There we go, right. Luis to Caracas. That's telling me Caracas is a better player. Sure, let's just yeah. I think I'm just going to go back to last year's strikers for now and hope they figure out how to score some goals. I don't see any big dramas at the back. Like, Karamoko's good enough to fill that role. I've never really been convinced by Redigolo, but I can't find a right back that doesn't look like hot garbage, to be honest. Like, I'm yet to find a convincing right back. Not quite in the second's time to shine yet, because we know that Caracas and Keller score goals together. We know they both score goals. So it's weird. Caracas has 19. Let's just try Caracas and Keller up front again. Because at least that's like one. It's like troubleshooting something, right? At least we know these two together up top score goals because they did last season. So if that's the change it takes to get us firing again, we can introduce the other two one by one and work out which of them isn't working. And if it's both of them aren't working, then we just get rid. But at least we know Caracas and Keller do score goals together. So that's a good start. And we can also start looking at, like, is it Mario Jose who is the issue? Because it could be that we just don't have anyone creative in midfield making any chances happen. It's a tough one. Because something here clearly isn't working. And having two guys with just giant jumping reach probably does help. We probably are a little bit still in that mode of, like, just have the biggest players we can. Loading up my 17-year-old guy who signed for Gimpo for a laugh. Interesting. That does sound like you've ordered a kid out of a catalogue, but we'll let it pass because we know what you mean. That's what we'll say. Come on, guys, let's go. Guglino has been terrible this season. I've given him 2 giants to aim for. It does sound like that. Aim for the big boy. Don't aim for the little winger. Aim for the 2 6'5" strikers. I mean, the little winger scored, and that's fine. It's beautiful. But if you're going to put a cross into a box, I like to aim for the guys who are 6'5". I always just think they're probably the ones who you want to kick a ball high at. I know it's really old-fashioned thinking, but kick ball high at big thing better than kick ball high at little thing that can't reach ball. That's outrageous. Now, it's an outrageous statement that I can't believe I just made publicly, but somehow true. Somehow true. We're doing well. Find another gear. Blah, blah, blah. Guglino, buddy. You've been garbage. Please stop being garbage. Like, I don't think I'm asking a lot. Just put a shift in, bud. Like, it's not rocket science. Just do significantly more of anything than the nothing you're doing for us so far. I think I've subbed Guglino off in all 3 games as well because he's just been poor. And you'd think after, like, the second time he'd have got something in his head that just goes, maybe I need to work a little bit harder. But no, he shows up, he does nothing. Gimpo sounds painful. Gimping is never painful, LD. It's a joyous experience that we should all be prepared for. Eduardo Luis, do you have any pace? Not really. Tonino, do you have any pace? Yeah, a little bit. In fact, let's not simplify it that far. Who can cross? You've got 4. You've got 7. Right. Eduardo Luis on the right. Probably stitch with my friend yesterday a word, was doing my insulin injection. She texted our other friend, Wall is having some pricks that will be on the way after. I hate when my friends expose my social life. It's so uncouth. The thing is, he definitely can't play as a channel forward because he only has 5 pace. That's not a thing you're capable of, Marcos. Try him as a deep lying forward. I don't think that'll work. I don't think it'll work. I think I feel stupid, but I don't have a better option. When I do, but I put it on the right wing because putting Marcos Jose there would be an error. Or would it? Yeah, it would. It would, right. Anywhere else I need to change? No, not yet. Not yet. There's 2 birthday cakes to those. The injection actually 2 whole birthday cakes? That's crazy. My mother is, I was talking to her earlier, she is going to Las Vegas for her birthday. Which sounds lovely and glamorous and all that bollocks that goes with being Las Vegas. I mean, Vegas is kind of a shithole, but, you know, she's excited, so, you know, let's let her have it. Anyway, she's going to Vegas for her birthday. She was like, I think I need to find a birthday cake while I'm there. I was like, fair enough. Do you need me to look up like a bakery or something in Vegas? No, we'll go to a supermarket. We'll find a cake from somewhere. Cool, whatever, right? And she goes, do you think American cake's nice? And I went, probably not, because all American food is just chlorine, bleach, and like corn syrup, isn't it? So it's gonna be terrible because you cannot make a cake with just corn syrup, bleach, and chlorine. So I'm not entirely sure why you think you're gonna find a cake without going to a bakery. But she's not having it. She's gonna go look for an American cake. So that'll be fun for her. Expect her to come back ill. But it's a big deal to the LFC women fan community. Fair enough. Look at you being a little village celebrity. It's good times. Cannot recommend enough. Being popular. Oh, I can't. I said that. Not always the best thing in the world, but for now, cannot recommend it enough. Be popular. Bakery sites have questionable ingredients given its US. That's true. That's true. Like, she wants a birthday cake, and I was like, the trouble with wanting a birthday cake is that America doesn't do food very well. So, like, realistically, stick to steakhouses because it's pretty hard to fuck up cow and chips. It's almost impossible to fuck up cow and chips. But what do I know, right? What on earth do I know? Oh word. My body has decided it's super tired today and I don't know why. I do not know why. It's a little bit concerning. Little bit concerning, but you know, we'll survive. I lost track of. Put way too much fucking shit in the cow. It's probably toxic. Fair. US has a way to put HFCS into cows and chips. Beautiful. Shields did beat us in the playoff final, Paul. It's true. It's true. It was heartbreaking, but we got our revenge, and it's fine because we're playing Swindon this season. And corn syrup is in literally, it is. Americans and corn syrup, name a more iconic combination. No one knows why it's there, no one really knows what it is, but if there's one thing more iconic than Americans and corn, nobody knows. Makes me laugh, because like, even if you watch like American motor racing, all the fuel is made out of corn as well. Which is like great for a sustainability thing, but also, like guys, we're taking the corn thing a lot too far. Like, if you can eat it and put it in your car, you're using too much of it. Especially in food. Like, I've never once looked at like a can of propane and gone, that'd be tasty. But you know, again, what do I know, right? Has guests have guns or ammo made of corn products now? Probably. Elodie will probably be the best person to ask. Elodie, if we see any corn-based weaponry recently? Probably idiots wandering around in Iowa waiting. Yeah, a little bit. Idiots out wandering around is, by the way, the finest acronym I've ever seen for Iowa. I approve. I approve. Leandro Martinez. I bet he's an above average goalkeeper. I bet we can't afford him. Not even close. Not even worth putting a bid in. No corn and ammo yet. Okay, we're good. We're good. They've not started firing corn at each other in schools. We're okay. We haven't got America's national sport into a state where it's become biodegradable yet, but we're almost there, I'm sure. I'm sure someone in the Midwest is working on corn-based ammo for rapid murder of school children. It's just a matter of time. Someone's been sat there like, what do you want? Guns. When do we want them? Always. What don't we want? Children. When don't we want them? When convenient. They have corn pops. What is the national sport? It is. It is America's national. They claim it's baseball. It's not. It's not. I promise you, the average American has probably done more school shooting than they've played baseball. I'm just saying. I got the Pro Relegation playoffs first leg right now, and Suwon's manager is already throwing shade about our pitch. Well, that's unkind. Let's be kind and rewind. Also, I've been having a little fun. So I've been like looking at guerrilla marketing shit for the book, right? Because like obviously I don't have a marketing budget. I'm just trying to get people to be aware it's coming. Oh, excellent. Cheap viewers. I'll be sure to never use that. Thanks. Americans are always doing a school shoot drill. It's true. It's true. But that's that taken care of. Good. Get rid of that. Yeah, so I've been doing some promo for the book today, just to, you know, fill some time or whatever bullshit we do, right? And I've got the main character for the book tweeting in character. I did a little botting, and I've got the main character tweeting occasionally in character. And she be winding people up, and it's hilarious. It's genuinely really funny. So, yeah, people are getting wound up by a fictional character that clearly says that it's literally responding using AI. It's hilarious. It's really funny. Russian cheap viewers, these viewers drunk and only able to type in Cyrillic. Sounds stereotypically accurate. We'll go with it. Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, and it's not because of the stereos. Oh, Taivari has been handed a Tahiti call-up, which is odd because he's been shit this season so far. Like, he didn't get called up once last season when he was playing out of his skin. But this season, he's playing absolute bobbins and he gets a call-up. How does that make sense? Why call him up when he's completely out of form? I'll never know. I'll never understand. Let's beat Dragon, shall we? Dragon. Let's beat the Dragon. That sounds like a euphemism for masturbation. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I'm okay with that being out there in public. Anyway, you know, I'm sure it'll all be okay. I'm sure it will all be perfect, because that's just how that kind of thing goes. I think. Right. Always mark tightly. Address the team. Our home form is important to us. Let's go out there and make the advantage count. Vodka Dronkov, son of Beer Dronkov. Indeed. I saw a video today where the technology apparently exists now to basically train an AI to be you. So it can look like you and act like you and talk like you. And you can, in theory, put it on a stream on Twitch to just respond to messages from chat or whatever, right? Like to essentially, you can set this thing up to a just chatting stream, and it was the most terrifying thing in the world. But then I thought, if I could train that to play FM, would I not just be laying in bed all day? Because I'd have literally no other purpose. It was just a thought. Would it buy me time to write? Nobody knows. Either way, cross goes in, header goes up, Mario does. It's me, a Mario! Because that's what Mario's for. I'm aware that accent's an offensive Italian stereotype, and I shouldn't allow myself to keep doing it, but to be fair, it's also an impression of Mario. No, because you have to do a network game with it and 18 other bots. Ooh. Now you put it out there. Jeez, he headed that hard enough he fell over. Edwin Caracas is scoring. Alright, we're back. We're back. We've cooked. We're fine. The boys are back. Oh, no, they're not. I got far too excited about the boys being back then because there was a goal. And, of course, it got disallowed. Our wingers are shite. What's really funny is that our Chinese winger left us last season on a free. He had his transfer set up before the end of the season. And I've seen towards the end of the transfer window he wants to come back already. I was like, why did you leave? You've packed up your house. Moved to wherever you moved to in the world. Decided that you didn't in fact like not being good enough for the league you've moved to. And you decided you'd like to come back. And yes, I let Gaglino do it, but he was good for us the first time. And he's been terrible for us the second time around. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Now, if Gaglino had come back and he'd been incredible, I probably would have brought him back. But alas, he has not. And now I have no budget, and I'm stuck with Anderson, who also happens to be complete shit. So I don't know. It's a problem. So is us not having scored a goal in this second period of footballing times. So if we could do that, that'd make me quite happy. Just a goal. Any goal. Any goal will do. I say any goal, obviously for us, otherwise we'd like it to be a draw, but Jesus Christ. We are bad tonight. We are not able to score goals again tonight. I don't know what to do. Aside from drop Goglino and Anderson, because they probably shouldn't be playing for us again. Like, I think we're at a stage now where I am starting to think Goglino and Anderson are not the people I want on that pitch. I think I want to send in Luis. I think I want to send in Tonino Guerrero. Keller is aggressive, which doesn't help me out much at all. I still think Marco Jose is a good striker. I don't see it. We'll put Des Lynam up top because there's no other real option. And Calvo off for Dubert, and then hopefully that will make that work for goals. I've also just realised I've got Mario Jose and Marcos Jose, and I wondered why I was getting confused. Which is probably, I don't know why Dupere is waving. We've got no corner routines set up. Like, nothing at all. There are no corner routines set as far as I can remember. I did say Des Lynam. His name's not actually Des Lynam. His name is Mark Lynam. But I keep calling him Des Lynam. It's just a random habit. We had Craig Lawless at another club, and I just kept calling him Lucy or Xena. The more I play FM26, the more like Benny. Wowzers. That's a star-stinger mission. Also, how are you, Benny? Welcome to the stream. We are struggling to score goals, despite the fact maybe you're our lucky charm, because we have not been able to score goals this entire season so far. That's about the second one we've seen, third one we've seen. It could be Dez's son / grandson. It's entirely possible. Let's I mean, he's a regen, so maybe not. How long has F26 that I'm doing I've really enjoyed? Fairer. I've got a few saves I've really enjoyed. I genuinely don't think 26 is as bad as people have been saying. It's not like great, but it's not bad. It's just it's FM, innit? It's FM. It's just a lesser quality FM. Like it's no. It's not as exciting as 24. It's not not as much fun as 24, but I've certainly played much worse Football Manager games. I've certainly played much worse non-Football Manager management games. So it is, it'll be what it'll be. More from today, we have the parts coming out for the next patch. No one can say SA ain't listening and improving it. It's true. I mean, I say that. I didn't get the improvements. The patch didn't work for me. So I am still waiting to see if I'll ever see the patch. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll never see the patch. Maybe it's just not coming. Maybe that's where all the goals went. They took away my goals. They put them in the patch. And the patch isn't coming. So the goals aren't coming. We'll never really know, to be honest. I don't know why I have a patch. I really don't. Like I said, I closed everything down. I closed FM. I closed Steam. I restarted my PC entirely. I put Steam into force patch mode, like, you know, where it checks every time it starts the game. I restarted the game. I got no patch. That was about an hour and a half-ish after the patch officially went live. Still no patch. I think if I look at my Steam now, does it say patch pending? No. No. In fact, it says completed yesterday. Oh, in fact, yeah, because it's gone midnight. Take it off beta patch and you'll get it. Okay, I'll have a look once because obviously I can't put it out of beta whilst I've got the game open. So I'll have a look. We'll see if I get it that way. If I don't get it that way, then I'm going to assume I've been skipped by the FM gods, which is fine. I'll get over it. Although you think they'd have pushed the patch out to beta first, right? Logically, the beta path should have got to 26. Was it 0.1, 0.2, point whatever? Should have got it a week or two ago to test it before they pushed it live, logically. But FM and Logic, name a more iconic failure to combine. You know, it's just tis what tis. Basically, just having a little check of who is out there in the world and what's going on again. It's a habit I have of just keeping an eye on who is doing what. There are some very, very good streamers on right now, which is nice. It's nice. It's not necessarily an immediate issue. I am thinking I'm getting tired and I'm hungry, but we're not quite there yet, I don't think. I don't think yet. Patch myself playing today. Need RT to patch up. Do it now. Fair enough. SI went and pressed the button. Give it to everyone except that. Can you imagine? To be fair, I did talk a lot of shit about SI on my YouTube channel. It's not entirely possible that they've finally seen it. Just so I don't get any more fixes. It's close to entirely impossible, but it's not entirely impossible. Can you imagine if Miles really was that much of a petty bitch? I'd actually respect him for it. Like, I genuinely respect him for doing that. I'm like, well played, Miles. Good job. You did it. Wow, that was quick. That was quick. FMRTE is getting updates faster than FM is. I mean, Kelsey, please. But, you know, they've reduced my wage budget. You already reduced it once, you cheeky bastards. I'm going to be paying players bloody wages myself. I might have to get the club a Patreon at this stage. Actually, talking of, there's a little thing I found yesterday I wanted to share with everyone. Let me just find it, because this is a really, really good project. Bear with, but I think you guys will really enjoy this. I just need to find it. There we go. Right. So you're probably aware of this because he's got numbers, but there's a YouTuber called Jersey Bird, who has bought a 6th division club in Kenya. And it's being entirely funded through his social media, YouTube, Patreon, etc. revenue. And it's a really cool little project, and I found that the other night, and I thought you guys might enjoy it. You never know. Didn't seem impossible. That might be the kind of thing some of you guys might enjoy having a wee gander at. Might want to stick on a tab for later. Looks like a great project. He's like building them new facilities and all sorts of stuff. Like, it's going pretty well by the looks of things. One of the more interesting uses I've seen of social media in football for a while. Right. We've decided Anderson is done. Probably for Churchill, I would say. Guglino, I think, is done. And I think for Cardenas, probably for Cardenas, maybe for Sale. Sale's a bit quicker, but Cardenas, I think, can cross. No. Be Sale then. Nice and easy. Job done. Right, I'll be back in 2 secs because I'm going to have some water. I know, wild, but I'm going to go grab a can of water and then we'll get this game done. Aha, water. Good. Right. Smell partially frozen after being in the fridge. Go figure. I would like a defender. Let's put tweets in there for Schmidt. Let's try tweets. Why not? That can't go wrong. When have tweets ever gone wrong, huh? Book is still in review. That's sad. Right. Let's go. We're doing well. We're on a good run. Blah, blah, blah. Score many goals. Stop asking about bloody pitches. AS Olympic Mahina, I think, got promoted last season. Like, as in, this is their first season up. So they might be on form, but whether or not they're better than us is irrelevant, is the question. I certainly feel a little bit better with Keller and Caracas up top, but I don't know which way round I feel better with them up top, which is the question. It's a wild one. But I'm sure we'll get there. Like I said, we should have the better team. We just need to make it work, as Mario Jose goes to Caracas to Calvo. Calvo out wide for Churchill. Oh, rush. Nope, still no goals. Impression's still terrible too. Tamatai. Pretty sure that's a shampoo. But there we go. He's made it work somehow. And we've not scored a goal. So, great times. Is Tamatai a shampoo? Was that a thing? This horrible coconutty shit from the 80s? I know, you're all too young to know the answer to that, but if you're not, you know, let me know. I don't know why I want to know. I don't think I'm going to build a time machine, go buy some shitty coconut shampoo from the 80s, but that's life, innit? Is it Tamatai? Yeah, their goalkeeper, Tamatai. Is it Timotei? Fuck knows. I don't know. Some shit from the 80s that smelled like Tomate. Alright, I think we're wagging the dot. Let me Google it. It is Timotei. They still make that. What? Okay. They still make it. How is that still a thing they make? I just remember it smelling awful. It looks like it was one of the first, like, organic hair things. Like the first vegan-y type hair things. There we go. We learned a thing from the 80s, but we learned a thing. Right. Calvin, Jose. I'm not happy. Go be better. The rest of you, can one of you score a goal? Honestly, I don't understand why we can't score goals. I really don't. Was it the one in Pools and Waterfall? Possibly. Was that the little, like, she was supposed to be like a hula girl or something in the advert? We could be going back way back to the 90s with that, by the way, but sort of what I remember there being some kind of hula girl based advert for it. Like, they definitely gave the idea it was some kind of Hawaiian bollocks that was probably made in a factory in friggin' Mansfield or whatever. Ben Churchill, by the way, has just scored a worldie. Absolute worldie of a goal. He is not good enough to pull that off. Like, he takes Herring on here, almost takes him to the byline, then just cuts back on his right, leaves Herring for dead, goes right through him, literally, and then slips it through the keeper's legs to score. That's it. It is one of those things where you just look at it and go, inspired by the tropics, and you go, yeah, mate, your label says friggin' Mansfield, right? No. Let's be honest. Yeah, like Umbongo. Malibu, made in Burton-on-Trent. It was inspired by racism, but frankly, this country has always been inspired by racism on some level, so there's two things Britain's good at: racism and failure. Those are the two things we do well as a nation. We do racism and failure. Eduardo Luis is the one that can run, right? He is the one that does know how to move. Good. Mario Jose off for Dupere because I trust him. Everyone else can wait. I think we're that good at racism, to be honest. Fair. I mean, others being better at it doesn't mean that we're not good at it. It just means they're better at it. I also remember about Timoteiads were like the feckers lived in Hobbiton. I don't remember that being a thing. I was watching this like documentary about how things were just like weirder in the early 2000s. Like, we forget how weird the early 2000s were. Does anyone else remember live TV? Oh, they probably did. Yeah, does anyone remember the channel Live TV from back in the late 90s, early 2000s? The one that, for reasons no one will ever be able to fully explain to me, had topless darts on it and shit. They'd be like, some lass would do the weather on a bouncy castle. Proper countryside, watermills and rivers, or waterfalls. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. On ice. Yeah, like, I don't know, it just came up in this video. I was like, Jesus, that was a thing people other than me were. Like, it's one of those things you look back at, that must have been like a fever dream I had or something. But they had like the news bunny, they do topless darts, they do the weather whilst like it was like some Swedish girl on a trampoline. I think the weather was in Swedish while she was on a trampoline. It was the weirdest thing. It was one of those things like, because I was a teenager at the time, and I'd sit and I'd watch it, and like, I know there would have been people who would like have watched me watching this. Like, my parents definitely caught watching this. Like, that's really weird and pervy. And to be fair, it was probably just me sat there just trying to figure out like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is this nonsense? I also remember they had like a video game magazine show that was presented by like the scariest cartoon talking head. Looked like something out of fucking Tron, but like with this weird animation and voice, and just freaked me out. We've gone back to the bad old days where our strikers don't score goals and all our goals come to win. Like, it'll work while we're fourth, but it can't go on. We've got to score some goals at some stage. That's got to be a rule. Goals have to come at some stage. I would like it very much if we could have a OFC draw before I finish the stream too, because I would like to know if we're going to New Zealand for our hollybobs / competitive football, early or late, to be honest, because if we can get on some form by February when the draw happens, I would feel reasonably good about the idea that we could get ourselves to the Champions League final. And to be honest, I think once we've won the OFC Champions League, we're pretty much we've completed Oceania. Which reminds me, I went to look at our reputation, and we can see about heading elsewhere in this game world, possibly to Africa, possibly to Asia. Oh no, you've gone down the live. It's a weird time. They did have like they used to have a lot of random video game shows. They have one that was like, it was like this. Yeah, the weather in Norwegian. That's what it was called. Yeah, I'm sure she did some on a trampoline. for no good reason at all. Yeah, I remember they had a game show that was kind of like a mix between The Word and Games Master. Like, it had Dominic Diamond talking about video games, but like it was The Word or TFI Friday or something. And he'd just be there telling the most filthy, sexist, racist jokes about video games pointlessly. It was a really fucking odd time. It's a really odd time. I don't know why this channel existed. The dude who played the Oompa Loompas did well. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I knew something fucked up was happening with a trampoline. Honestly, it was the closest as a channel you could get to like daytime porn on TV in the 90s and 2000s. It was such an odd experience, such an odd idea. I think it was like connected to the sun, the newspaper, not like the object in the sky. Which, to be honest, had it been connected to the object in the sky, it probably would have been a touch more enjoyable. By which I mean, had it been fired into the surface of said sun, it would have been immensely enjoyable. Montaro, can you play on... Oh, of course you can't play on the fucking right. That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? You'd be the perfect guy on the right. Let's try Labaya. He's not good, but he can't be worse than Sale. According to Wikipedia, he bounced higher the further north he was talking about. What? Murray apparently was Calvin McKenzie, so yeah, fair. I knew it was some old fucking perv involved. It was a weird time. It was just a weird time. Ben Churchill is wanted by Aztac. Do you kind of want to put Montanaro on the left-hand side? He can't finish for shit, but he's quick. Is it possibly better than Churchill? Wait, it's entirely possibly better than Churchill. We'll give him a go. Why not? Why not? We'll have a tryout of wingers. It'll either work or it won't. That's my thinking. It will either work or it won't. Also, I keep changing wingers, even though it's the strikers not scoring I'm concerned about, which is great ideas. Clearly, I have addressed the problem. It's one of those things as well where I know if I was to holiday a couple of games, we'd score 5 times the goals, because for some reason you score more goals when you are instant resulting or holidaying than you do actually playing the games, even though you're using the same team and the same tactic. We haven't figured out why yet, but we have experimented with it, so make of it what you will. Tiffany's Big City Tips, in which model Tiffany Bannister gave the financial news while stripping to her underwear. Yep. Yeah, the 90s were a time, yeah. And the idea was that Tiffany's Big City Tips was shown late enough at night usually. I sure it was shown on a Friday night just after you get back in from the pub, so that if you tried to explain to anyone what you were watching, you would naturally be too drunk to pronounce that properly. That was what they were going for. Luckily, because I went to drama school, I can read a thing and I can pronounce the words correctly most of the time when I know it's supposed to be a tongue twister. So I can look at that and go, Tiffany's Big City Tips, and not fuck it up. So we're all good for YouTube, which is great. That's good for the VOD. that's going to keep us alive. Right. Il Signo is doing a great job. Jesus Christ. Come on, Tafana are all Brazilians all the time. Yes, I believe so. I believe so. It's one of those things where I have to be really careful how I phrase this, so I'm trying to any reference to anatomy or adult fun time is verboten on YouTube. It's really, really bad in the algorithm, monetization, all that shit. But I can say shit, fuck, whatever, and it doesn't care. Doesn't give a damn. Right? If I do it within the first 10 seconds of a stream, it cares. Actually, I think it's the first 2 minutes of a stream or a YouTube video. But other than that, it doesn't care. Well, I think I explained this the other day. Like, the only reason I don't swear, I said the only reason, I am an adult able to control my language when I want to. But the only reason you don't hear me swearing in videos is because I'm aware that it's far more likely that children are watching my videos than my streams. Like, 90% of my streams start post-watershed anyway. So if there is anyone sat here watching with their 9-year-old that wants to complain about my language because the 9-year-old is easily influenced, I would suggest that that's on you for making the choice to watch me at 1 o'clock-ish in the morning, whatever it is, 12:30, with a 9-year-old. Obviously, if you're in a different time zone, I apologise. Best of luck raising the child. But where I am, it is post-midnight and therefore perfectly acceptable for me to say fuck. Frankly. But, yeah, I'm aware that it's far less likely that kids are watching my VODs. Not impossible, obviously, because they know how the internet works. That's where they get their porn from. Ironically, that is a word I can see on YouTube, because educational, it's an educational term. There were battles fought over that. I remember it well. I'm not even kidding. There were actual battles fought between YouTube and creators over the use of that one word, the use of the word porn. Because it used to, in the old days, flag that as well as a bad word in the algorithm, until people were like, well, we have to have conversations about these things because they are harmful to our society and we can't have conversations without saying certain words. So yeah, there we go. But then conversely, there are a lot of topics you can't discuss on YouTube, even in an educational context, because they're just so verboten. For example, I have another channel that needs updating, my law channel, where I'm trying to come up with topic videos and things that need discussing and other such legal bollocks. And there was a really interesting paper I read the other day that I was going to make a video on. Unfortunately, said paper is on the topic of the R word that rhymes with tape that you aren't allowed to say on YouTube. At all. Period. Like, you'll be lucky if your video stays up. Period. Which is why if you ever watch a YouTube video where they're discussing such topics, they describe it as SA. But I don't like discussing educational topics in vague terms because I'm a lawyer and I think precision is important. Precision of language is important. Especially when those are two very different terms for two very different legal offences. But alas, it's not an argument I can win with YouTube or with Google anyway. So I binned off the idea. So there we go. That's the doctrine of YouTube censorship. We've still not scored a bastard goal. I say still, like we've had another game we've not scored a goal. This is getting decidedly stupid now. Like decidedly stupid. We're top of the league. I say joint top of the league. And we're unbeaten, but it just feels like we've been a bit shit. I am not fully feeling this season at all right now. But it also could be because it's the middle of the bloody night. So that is what it be. That is what it be. So I was just having a little look to see who's out there. Just seeing who is out there in the world. It's what a weird night. Just a weird night in terms of who is currently streaming. I need to go and sleep. Catch you tomorrow. See you next time for another exciting adventure. Fair enough, Simon. We'll see you next time. I don't think I'm going to be streaming for a lot longer anyway. Just because I am starting to flag and because of that realisation that I hadn't actually had a proper meal in about 9 hours. So that's probably a thing I should take care of shortly. It's part of why I was sort of looking at who was out there in the world to hand off to. Not that anyone should panic. I think I'm doing so immediately, but it's certainly under consideration. As when the book comes out on than X, I will do it should, like I said, it should be Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'll be streaming Tuesday and Wednesday anyway, so I will let you know then, because that's, yeah, should be Tuesday or Wednesday, so I'm told. It usually takes about 72 hours to get through review, and it went up late last night / early this morning, so see you later, Simon. So yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday to complete the sentence is the answer. Balls. I need a right winger. Anything to offer me at all? Maybe. What do you do best on the right hand side? Inside for Andrew Potter. Andrew Potter, can you pull this off for me? Let us find out. Oh, we've got 26 days between matches. 26 days between matches. That is far, 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 far too long. I believe far too long. I don't like it at all. At all. Right, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I know it's a short one. I will come up earlier tomorrow. I am going to put this into holiday mode in a second to get us to the next game in time for next episode. I promise you will miss nothing. I will sign no players. I will attempt to sell no players, but God knows they just leave sometimes. But it's a lot of time just to sit through nothing happening. It's because there is the OFC games happening. So, let's do a little look-to-do for someone to go and visit on an raid, shall we? What am I seeing? Who am I seeing out here? I know Benny's on. But I am a big believer in spreading some love. So let's see who is out there doing what they're doing. I think we might go pay a visit to my good friend Lee. I think that could be a good time. He's a good time. He's a top bloke. It feels like that's a good way to go. So, thank you, Warcraft. See you later. We'll go to the Scouse House. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for watching YouTube. See you all very soon. Stay safe. Ciao.